All right, it is time for another Friday Reads where I talk about what I've been reading, what I have finished, hopefully, maybe, and what I plan to read this weekend. And this is going to be a great weekend because I'm actually going home to visit my family. When you're seeing this, I am in Cleveland, Ohio. It's fabulous. I am vaccinated, my friends and my family are vaccinated. I'm just really excited to play board games. So that means in next week's video, I will talk about some of the board games I played because I know people ask me to talk about that and I don't. Mainly because I haven't really played any board games because it's a pandemic and my roommates and I like to play, but we don't think about doing it. Like by the time we're all exhausted at 8 or 9 p.m. on a weekend, we don't think, let's take out the table and set up the game. It's just not what we do. But when I go home, we just play games. It's what my family and I do all the time. It's a great time. So I'm really excited about that. Hopefully by the time you're seeing this, I've already played a board game because I'm flying out Thursday. But let's talk about what I finished. And if you saw the thumbnail, I'm sure you know that I was displeased, and that is The Burning God. It was 620 pages. It took me the entire week. It was the book that never ended, and I have a spoiler-free review going up on Sunday. I think that's the day it's going up for the whole series, so I talk about my emotions throughout the entire series, spoiler-free. I generally liked the first two books. The first two books were fine, 4-star reads. This book, if I'm being generous, is 3 stars. I'm really not sure. The more I think about it, the angrier I get about the things that could have been and what really bothered me, which was mostly an execution thing, which is why I was able to do it spoiler-free. I didn't have to talk about specific moments because it wasn't any specific moment or specific character interaction. They weren't plot things, although there were plot things, but it was an overarching plot problem. Although I do like how it ended. I really didn't know how else it was going to end anyways. But I haven't been disappointed by the end of the series in a long time, and I'm really bummed. I was even just saying in my series wrap-up video that normally if I stick a series all the way through the end, I normally am pretty confident on my recommendation. I spent that much time, I spent 1,800 pages. Yeah, I don't know. But that video is going up soon, so I don't need to talk more here, but I was very, very disappointed. I don't even know what I wanted. I didn't even go in with high expectations because A, there were so many mixed reviews, and B, it's not my favorite fantasy series of all time. I'm not big into military fantasy, so it was never my 5-star series that other people had, but I had issues. Things that I'm still reading, Tower of Swallows. It's actually really picked up for me in terms of interest, but it's an audiobook and I haven't been doing things that I want to listen to audiobooks for. So I still have, I think, 3 to 4 hours left. So I'm for sure going to finish it before the month's over if I just prioritize some time a day. I'm really interested. There have been some interesting conversations about evolution and how this world came to be how it is and potentially why our characters matter. So that was really interesting, and I'm just curious. We've been spending more time with Geralt, and I'm unsurprisingly having more fun when he's on page. And there's also been really interesting discussion about him and I guess a midlife crisis he's sort of having. I don't really know if you can call it a midlife crisis when he's as old as he is, but it seems to be a change of career paths, question mark? Unsure. But that's been going okay as my audiobook, and if you're new here, I'm very slow with audiobooks. I'm also still reading Sunspot Jungle, and I just read a story today that I really liked. Before that, we've been kind of having some misses, they were just a little abstract or short, or I didn't know if I knew what the theming was, and then if the theming could go one of two ways, of harmful to really good critique, and I wasn't sure. But per usual, that buddy read is still going strong. I'm still liking that it's a very experimental work at times, that I really get to be exposed to different angles to stories. It's just a fun thing to read a story of day from it. And the big one that I'm still reading, Dead House Gates, and I am this far, so this much left, which I feel so accomplished. I've read 540 pages of this book, which in real world terms is 1,000 pages, because that's how Malazan works, right? I just finished part 3, so if you are familiar with Dead House Gates, I am freaking out. I need to film my spoiler vlog clip, because I've been doing one for each part to kind of break it down. And it's interesting because, there's a lot of issues I have in The Burning God that I could say are issues in here, but here it has other things to help me out with that. I would say my least favorite parts of this are when we are heavily focused on the military fantasy parts, where we're heavily focused on how the army is strategizing and everything like that, or the horrors of war. Like, those are the parts that are the slowest for me and the hardest for me to read in both books. But here, there's so much cool stuff, and I think it's so funny at times, like in really weird ways. And I chuckle, and I've been annotating, and I'll just go like, LOL. I'll just be like, that was a funny line. So I'm largely having a really good experience. I was talking to my friend Brittany from Books with Brittany, and it's just, when you read a Malazan book, if you want to, you don't have to. It's not like you'll be missing something in your life if you don't, per se. But it's such a different experience. Like, it's just not bingeable. I mean, I do know people who binged out the end, but for me, like 40, 50 pages a day max, that's what I have to do. And it's made it such a good experience, because I think Gardens of the Moon, I wasn't prepared for that. And I do think it just had slower paced sections too, like even slower than the slow parts in here. And I just had issues because I was just like, why can't I read like my normal amount of pages for this book? Like, it's taking so long. And when I started this, I'm like, it's going to take the whole month. It's going to take 28 days. We're just accepting it now. And speaking of Malazan, Evie from She Was Only Evie, I'll have her channel linked below, was amazing. So she ordered Memories of Ice on Amazon, and they sent her a mass market paperback. And she does not read mass market paperback because she claims her eyes are unable to read the small words, which, whoa, these are pretty small. Those are smaller than what's in Dead House Gates. Can confirm. Small words. But she asked if I wanted it because I've been collecting the mass market paperbacks now, and Amazon didn't want it back. They just gave her back her money, or like a different copy of the book. And so I got Memories of Ice on deck for, I'm not reading it in April because I can't do that to myself. And if you've seen, well, you haven't seen my April TBR yet, but it's coming and it's ambitious. Yeah, ambitious with an A for April. Way too many pages. But so I'll probably get to this in May or June, and I'm very excited. And I really like the cover. I like the colors and stuff. Like, I just think it's cool. She also, from the Nerdy Narrative book tag, I talked about how I wanted the Winnowing Flame series. Is that what it's called? It doesn't like have it on the book, so I'm like unsure. Winnowing Flame trilogy. And so I have Ninth Reign that I bought myself, and then she sent me the Bitter Twins and the third book. I think this is the second one, but the third one is still out there. It has like a cat on the cover. And so yeah, I'm hoping to start this series maybe in May, maybe in June. It's gonna be fun. So I'm pretty excited about that. And is there anything else I'm currently reading? I just started, so again, no real thoughts. Are We Free the Stars? I did find recaptions, so I was able to remind myself character names and what happened. I had a general idea, but I was definitely forgetting a lot of the nuances in just the stakes and the plot and what happened. So I've started that. I'm not very far in. Like, I think my Kindle says I'm like 5%. And we'll see how it goes. I've been kind of like burned lately on some reads. Like, it hasn't been the strongest reading month. I'm giving myself permission to like put it down and make it a soft DNF because I don't know, I've just been feeling slumpy and I have so many things I want to read, like really bad. So to force myself to read something just because it's on a list, I'm not going to make myself do it. Like, I'm cautiously optimistic. I'm hoping that it goes well. We'll just see. I'm not that far into it. I haven't had time to really read it yet. And then things that I'm going to read for sure. I've got two. We've got Machine Hood, which is the sci-fi, and I'm like really excited to pick this up because I want a sci-fi. Maybe that'll help me with the slumpiness. And this is, I think, a debut, and it came out March 2nd, so I'm really excited to read this and review it and let you guys know what I think of this new sci-fi. And then I'm going to start my reread, Well of Ascension. Those are the last books on the TBR, and so I will quickly show you bracket of the books. So let's see. I still keep going back and forth over whether Winter's Orbit or the Gilded Ones win. I think it's still Winter's Orbit. They are like neck and neck. Phoenix Extravagant, although I didn't love it as much as I wanted to, for sure beat Deacon King Kong. And I mean, I haven't finished Dead House Gates, but I am solidly confident it's going to beat The Burning God, because The Burning God is my most disappointing read of the month, and I thought that would be Deacon King Kong. Although that's disappointing is a bad word for that, because I didn't expect to like that one or anything. I had no expectations. It couldn't be good or bad, right? And so now I'm working on the lower part of the bracket. Regardless, even if We Free the Stars and Machine Hood don't save it for me, I know Well of Ascension will. I'm very excited to pick this one up. I just need the coziness. Well, I say that. It's like kind of end of the world fantasy, but for me, it's cozy. Although this one is my favorite in the trilogy, even though there are character moments with Vin that, like, over the years have both been relatable and frustrating in both ways. It's not mutually exclusive. So those are the things. What are you planning to do this weekend? Oh, in case anyone was curious, because people were asking me in the comments last time, I freaking loved Raya and the Last Dragon, guys. That movie was so cute, and there's a short before it, like kind of how Pixar sometimes does shorts, but this is Disney, that made me cry. And I don't think the short's available on Disney Plus until June. So I saw it in the theaters, but I loved the short. It was the sweetest thing. It was, no words were spoken. It was just this song and this old couple dancing to the song, and there was this rain cloud that came that could make them young again, and it was about their relationship, but also this entire city communicated in dance, which spoke to me. Oh, it was beautiful. And then Raya and the Last Dragon was just such fun world building, quest, adventure story, found family. Ah, so good. I had such a good time. I loved how they played with animation. I loved the different music. I don't think, like, if you're like only an adult fantasy reader, that you're going to be blown away by the plot. But if you're like me and you just love seeing pretty fantasy on screen, oh, it was good. It was so pretty. It had so many animal companions. I couldn't pick which companion I would have wanted. Like, I really, really liked it. And I loved that the antagonistic force, what it ended up being, but also there's like this frenemy relationship. So in case you wanted to know my Raya and the Last Dragon thoughts, it was good. I really liked it. And so that's this video. If you want to leave an emoji, leave a dragon, because I just talked about dragons. So that works for me. And otherwise, like if you liked it, subscribe if you want to. We can chat in my Discord if you want to just hang out, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.